couple of minutes. Meanwhile, students can please start pouring in their queries in the chat box, and then we'll start off with the session in another couple of minutes.
Sure, Shilpi. Prabhanshu is also joining in a minute.
Wonderful.
Hi everyone. Hello Barsha. Hello Shilpi.
Hi Prabhanshu. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Prabhanshu.
Good evening everyone.
Okay, so I think we are good to start now. Okay, so then a very warm welcome and a very warm good evening to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for sparing out the time to join in this session. I, Shilpi Jain, Head of ACCA at VG Learning Destination, would like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you, and especially our special guest tonight, Ms. Satya Dhulipala, who is the ACCA member presently working as Senior Consultant at Deloitte, Mr. Karthik Sood, ACCA member presently working as Assistant Manager at KPMG, Australia. And definitely special welcome and special thank you, as always, to the ACCA India team, Ms. Barsha, Member Engagement Manager at ACCA India, as well as Mr. Prabhanshu Mittal, Senior Business Relationship Manager at ACCA India, for providing this opportunity to all our students, to all our future members, to interact with the present ACCA members, have this opportunity to interact and ask all their queries, anything under the sun that they want to ask about, the ACCA qualification, the exams, the preparation, career ahead, any, roadside, any tips and tricks that they would like to share with the future ACCA members, because they definitely have, they have been there, they have done everything. So yes, they are the experts now and they can act as mentors for our future members. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Before we actually start the session, quick round of housekeeping rules for everyone. Please feel free to drop in all your queries in the chat box or the Q&A box, wherever you feel comfortable. It's going to be an open interactive session. So I would request Barsha to please be the moderator and put up the queries for our guest tonight. And we will just, make sure that we are actually able to answer as much queries as possible. So please start pouring in your queries. Meanwhile, I would just very quickly request Ms. Satya and as well as Mr. Karthik to introduce themselves, and then we can start off with the session. Over to you, Satya. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Satya, and I'm an ACCA member. I've been a member since 2020 Jan. I cleared my exams in 2019. So I am a management consultant with Deloitte. I used to be in the audit practice of Deloitte prior to this. I was with them for about 3 years. And I mean, since you guys are in VG Learning Destination right now, I'm very familiar with the institution, because I actually started off with chartered accountancy back in the day. And then I moved over to ACCA. So when I was studying for CA, I actually used a lot of VG's resources for taxes specifically. So I know for a fact that you guys are in good hands. Like, you have some excellent teachers, so don't worry about the teaching part of it. But yeah, just along with the introduction, I actually wanted to give you like 4 pointers from like an exams perspective. I won't take too much of your time, but I just wanted to, put this across to all of you so that it helped me, and I hope it'll help you too. So the first one being complete your exams. These are professional courses. It's not like an undergraduate degree that, you are guaranteed to pass to a great extent. Professional courses have low pass percentages. They are meant to make you an expertise in the subject, right? So it's not like everybody can become an expert. So people do fail, and don't worry about it. It's very normal. But the fact that once you become an ACCA, the recognition that you get or the kind of opportunities that you have, that is unmatched. So do not stop at any cost. Like, it's all right. It's perfectly fine if you fail. Keep trying, learn from your mistakes, keep moving forward. A lot of us have, even I did. I actually took up advanced taxation as my subject of choice in the professional level. And it took me about like 2 attempts to get through with it. So yeah, because it was one UK tax laws, but I did not give up because I really liked the subject and I was like, no, 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 I'm going to get through with this no matter what. So ensure you complete the qualification. Then yeah, the second tip I have for you is take risks early on. You're young. Most of you are probably in your 20s, right? So this is not the end of the world. I have a lot of people who keep asking me, "Oh, can I, should I get into audit? Should I get into tax? Or should I do this? You think I'll be a good fit there?" And frankly, I don't know if you'd be a good fit anywhere. You'd have to figure that out for yourself. When I was moving from audit to consulting, I had given myself about 6 months because I wasn't sure if I'd fit into consulting. I have had been in audit for a very long time and I liked audit. I fit in well. I was comfortable there. But if one thing this experimentation taught me was the fact that it's okay to take a risk, because I joined consulting early 2020 and September 21, I'm still in consulting and I'm doing pretty well for myself. So take risks. It's perfectly fine. Not the end of the world again. Third tip for you, improve your communication skills. In today's era, especially in an era where we are in a digital environment, we don't get to see each other face to face as much. So judging somebody by their body language is actually a lot easier because you know if the person is warm and welcoming. But when you type in things or you're sending a mail or a message to anyone, it's very important to get your point across correctly. And you have tons of videos on YouTube. Go through them, try and work on this communication part of it because it's very important in today's digital environment. Last step, build networks and retain them. We live in a professional world. You guys are already in ACC, have started your ACCA journey. This field is filled with a lot of professionals and it's very important how you connect with these people. One way for me, a recent example, when I became a member with ACCA, I was very keen on this particular point. I was like, no, I need to build my network. I know there's some exceptionally good people in this organization. So I need to find a way to, build and interact and expand my network with these guys. So I ended up signing up for the CSR initiatives that were there with ACCA. And that helped me immensely because I actually met Karthik through that, and who eventually turned out to be a good friend. So you make connects with people across the world, and when especially you're doing things like this, social initiatives together, it really helps. So even irrespective of what you're a part of, you're a part of something. Try giving it your 100%. Try interacting with the people that you are with there, because that definitely helps you in the future. So 4 pointers from me. They helped me a lot. I hope they help you as well. And thank you all for being here today. Happy to take all your questions. And just one point before I, hand over the mic to Karthik. If you guys would like to reach me over LinkedIn, or if you're not comfortable asking any questions here, you can. I'll paste my LinkedIn ID in the chat box. You guys can connect with me on LinkedIn, and if you have any questions, happy to answer them there as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Satya. That you've basically covered all points. So thanks for that. Really good. You've made my job pretty easy. So I'll keep it short and quick. And thanks, Shilpi, for the introduction as well as thank you to Barsha for this opportunity. Hi, everyone. I am Karthik. I am an ACCA member, and I've been an ACCA member since 2018. I finished all my exams in 2017. Currently, I'm working with KPMG Australia as an audit manager. So I was assistant manager. I've recently been promoted to a manager. I've been with KPMG across India and Australia for more than 5 years now. Apart from ACCA, I also hold a master's degree in investment banking. I finished that in Melbourne, Australia during 2016 to 18, came back to India, worked with KPMG again, and then left for KPMG Sydney in March of 2020, right before COVID struck. So right now I am based out of Sydney. I am working with KPMG. I am in external audit. My main and primary industry is asset management and banking. So I look after the listed banking clients for KPMG Australia. Apart from the tips that Satya has given you, I would just like to say that it's very important to maintain ownership and accountability for all the things that you're doing in your life. Be it ACCA, be it you looking for opportunities, talking about anyone for your resume. I've been associated with ACCA's financial literacy program. I've been associated with ACCA's mentorship program, and I've been mentoring many students just like you. And the questions that I've come across, I believe most of those questions I would come across right now here as well. So just in terms of that, a basic theme that I've seen in people is that somewhere or the other we get complacent and we start comparing various courses. What I would like to say is ACCA in its singularity is a fantastic opportunity. Since 2018 till now, I have seen it grow. It has got immense opportunities out there in India. It has got immense opportunities out there abroad as well. But it doesn't mean that those opportunities would come and be presented to you in a silver platter. You have to work hard towards it, be it whichever demographic it is. So just maintain that ownership, maintain that accountability. Even while doing that professional course, it is very important to make sure that you understand where you land or where you stand in the community today. You should be at par with other students, members, affiliates. There's a lot of competition out there. But again, do not worry about taking risks. The community is pretty large and immense and contains of many members. So you can reach out to any of us, or you can reach out to Barsha, you can be a part of the mentorship program, you can post questions to me or Satya on LinkedIn as well. So yes, I'm happy to take those questions today, and over LinkedIn, you can reach out to us anytime. So feel free to ask us anything. I hope this is an informative session for you, and we are basically, I hope that we cover most of the aspects and areas around. Thank you.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Satya. I'm so proud to have you here today. So I will start with the questions, and some of the great points that you have included are already, I think, answer some of the questions out here. Just to talk about, I just want to let all the students know that, as ACCA members, now it's a very close-knit community. And it's a lot of people ask me, why should I get into membership? And it is, you can see members like Satya and Karthik who have really contributed so much to the membership community. And they're young members, or most of our members are very young. And the energy that they bring into some of the projects that we started, like the financial literacy program, was just out of the world. And we've launched that program on August the 15th, and it is a program for children in schools to learn financial literacy, which the members have created. So as a member community, they came together to give back to the society, and it is just beyond just your own professional development or your own workplace. Such projects have been possible because of members like them, and they're also part of the ACCA Skill Academy, which if you want to be a part of, you can just let Shilpi know, and she will in turn let me know, so that I can connect you with members like Karthik and Satya. Of course, members are already helping, online, like they said, on LinkedIn. So one thing I will stress to all of you as future members is that digital networking is so important. And when we say digital networking, we don't mean hounding members, or for jobs. It means developing relationships, asking questions. But again, like Karthik said, taking the accountability to follow through. And that is very, very important. And your authenticity comes out really naturally in these networking sessions. And there's so many jobs that future members have gotten a breakthrough in their careers, not through any application of jobs, but through references of such members. And organizations are always looking to hire, but the voice of the employee who within always counts. So when you're networking, it's not just for that one question that you're asking, but to build a long-term relationship. So think about that. Now let's take the questions. So here's one for you, Karthik, and this is going to be, I am sure, a very, very common question. It is, no matter which institute I go to, or which different kinds of students that I interact with from north to south, I get this question a lot. What are the chances to settle abroad after ACCA, Karthik, since you're already in Sydney? And I'm sure that I just saw some questions regarding that below. As I'll scroll again, I'll see that. Is, how do you go about doing that?
Yes, so I'll put those questions. I have received this question. Thanks for the question, firstly, Barsha, and the person who's asked this. I've received this question quite a lot, and that's because I've been in Sydney. I've worked in Melbourne previously as well during 2016 to 18, and now again in Sydney. And that's just basis. I am working in the capacity of an external auditor. So that's because of my ACCA degree, and that's not because of my master's in investment banking. The opportunities are immense. You definitely can get through it. But while we are applying abroad, we need to make sure that we understand that those opportunities are subject to visa restrictions as well. And those visa restrictions are not something that are in the hands of the employer. That is something that the Department of Immigration out there is handling. I'll take the example of Australia right now. We have got immense opportunities out here, but sadly, Department of Immigration has banned all entries from India currently. Like they're slowly opening up for other countries across the globe. But India right now is still banned, and that is because of the COVID-19 pandemic and how the situation has been in the past during the second wave. Hopefully in the next 6 months, they'll open up. So even if the employers want, they can't hire people. To answer that question short and sweet, yes, you do have options. You can apply, you can go through secondments when you apply for a multinational firm in India, work with them if they have those secondment opportunities, and ACCA is a valid degree and you can be, considered for it. You can directly apply to these organizations as well. It is always easier to apply from within, because then you make those connects, you have those networking panels and those channels to get you through. But you definitely can apply from outside. But again, that just plays 50% role in you securing an opportunity. The visa restrictions and how the immigration plays a part in it is very important. So that is one thing that we should understand. And while we are looking for opportunities abroad, like for me, settling in Sydney was never the first choice, and it still is never the first choice. I am still on a work visa right now, and that is because the opportunity that the firm offered me back in India was something that I couldn't refuse, and hence I came abroad. Like otherwise, that was never a goal. Like my point out here, and the message that I would like to send through to all students is, it is not just about settling abroad. In India, there are immense, multiple, and fantastic opportunities to work there. And if you want to settle abroad, yes, there are options, but do consider India as well, because it has got immense opportunities.
Thank you, Karthik. I know of some members as young as, in their early 20s who have worked in different continents with their ACCA. And with ACCA, one thing that is guaranteed is that you have a family, you have a community, no matter where you go, because you will have ACCA members across the world. We are present in 177 countries. So, that you will see once you start connecting with members. So do try connections through LinkedIn as well. Networking, again, it plays a huge role. And like Karthik said, there are opportunities in EY, in KPMG, in GT. And I have seen a lot of members actually go through these organizations through secondment, and then not only one country, so many different countries, through their assignments. So there are multiple opportunities to go out, but we also have now employers like Tech Mahindra, Accenture, Infosys as our approved employers who keep posting jobs, and these are fantastic places to work as well. So consider India. We're diversifying in terms of our approved employers. So, just give a look at the career board and look at the jobs in India as well, like Karthik said. So I will move to another question, which is, I have joined at Genpact in the apprenticeship program. Their clause mentions that if I switch before the completion of that program, that is 18 months, I won't be getting any experience letter. Since experience letter is mandatory to show your work experience on ACCA portal, will an offer letter? Okay, so this is a question for me. So the answer is that, your experience letter anyways will not help you. I don't know the name of the person who asked this, but what you need to do to complete your PER is complete your, you have to have a supervisor from within the organization who approves your experience in the PER system. So for ACCA, we will not, whether it's a joining letter or whether it's a, your experience letter, that will not count anyway. What you need to do is start having a conversation with your line manager to at least get your time approved in the PER system, which I have given a long session for VGLD. So maybe Shilpi can provide you with the recording. You'll understand how that process works. Now, in terms of you leaving, unless, if you have signed up for 18 months is not a very long time unless you have found a great opportunity. I would urge you to see it through, and then move out probably. But for the PER, you will need to have your line manager sign it for you, within, or approve your time within the PER system. So for that also, I'm sure you will need to maintain a great relationship with the line manager, and moving out before 18 months probably will not help. So that is the answer. If you need any more questions on if you have any more questions on PER, please don't hesitate to write to me. I'll provide my email address in just a bit. The other question now, maybe Satya, I'll throw at you, is can I start my BBA along with ACCA?
You can. I mean, I'm not sure if this person has an other undergraduate degree. You can of course do it. See, ACCA is a professional course. Any professional course, you are not required to, go to a college for that, right? So there are a lot of people who do their BCom, BBA, and simultaneously pursue ACCA as well. You just have to plan out your exams a little bit more carefully because, again, these exams are competitive, they're tough. Not everybody gets through with them. So you'll have to plan really well in advance, and you can do whatever you want with ACCA. It's really not a problem. Just that during your exams, ensure you have plan it out well. You're prepared well for your exams. And last night cramming does not work. The night before cramming will not work. So whatever you're doing, do it. I mean, I don't think technically there's no rule against it or anything of that sort. It's just practically from managing some other course, any other course and ACCA, ensure you give enough time to ACCA. I'll give you a small example. So when I was pursuing my ACCA, I was working as well. I was in the audit practice of Deloitte, and the timings are mad. Like you're working about 13, 14 hours a day, and you are working pretty much throughout. And I used to work on a lot of listed companies. So that required, we had deadlines every 3 months, right? 4 times a year. So one of the things that really helped me was studying consistently through the 3 months leading up to the examination. So every day in the morning, I would spend about like maybe 1.5 hours. And I used to plan my chapters accordingly. Say, take something like a financial reporting. You have about like 20 odd chapters. So I would, put enough time for each of the chapter, ensure that, okay, maybe 2-3 days I finish one chapter, and again another one. And over the weekend, I would practice the questions which were there. That really helped me. So if you're trying to do something else along with ACC, or if you're working, this should potentially help you.
Thank you, Shilpi. Sorry, Satya. Okay, over to you, Karthik, now. I have dropped CA. Okay, I think, Karthik, you will be able to answer this as well, very well. I have dropped CA and joined ACCA. I will give my first skill level exam in December. Please guide me regarding the exams and career prospects. This is from Jayesh.
Great. Thanks for the question, Jayesh. So yes, I've done a similar thing. I did my IPCC Group 1. I cleared it. I completed my 3 years of articleship. Unfortunately, I was not able to clear my Group 2. So after a certain number of attempts, I was like, that's it. If something's not happening, let's move away from it. So I switched from CA to ACCA. At that time, I was working with KPMG Global Services. So that's KGS in India. And I started with them. I started with ACCA. I appeared for 3 exams in my first attempt, all 3 of them together. So I would say that what I did with CA that never went down the drain. I learned quite a lot. I learned how to study. I learned how to go on for long hours, make sure that I get those things done in a limited amount of time. And I basically knew and took over what I learned in Group 1 over onto my ACCA exams as well. As soon as I finished with my ACCA, I was promoted to an executive in KGS itself. So you do get promoted to a higher level once you've completed your ACCA and secured a membership. Post that, there are career opportunities, as you've asked, both in India and in Australia. It is, I would say, since you have dropped CA, I don't know which level you've dropped it from, and now moved to ACCA, I would say don't think about that you've dropped it and you're moving to something else. again, one thing that I've seen people do is draw a par or try to draw a comparison between multiple professional courses, be it CA, ACCA, be it masters or ACCA, CFA, CPA. I would say all of those courses have their own professional good standing. It is about what suits your portfolio, your aspirations more. Think about it, go for it. If something's not working, do not worry, or do not be concerned that you're taking a step back and moving into another line. It is your career. As Satya mentioned in the start, you all are in your early 20s or mid 20s as well. You have that opportunity to take that risk, go for it. So ACCI, or hope, and I'm definitely sure you will be able to crack it. Just make sure that you don't think about how your CA experience went. Think about it as a clean, fresh slate. Go for it, and there are definitely opportunities there. Look for opportunities on the career pages of the multinational firms, the big four consulting firms, the advisory firms, and you will definitely find those opportunities.
Thank you, Karthik. Next one is, right now, this is also, I don't know who it is from. So right now I'm working in Shelby Group of Hospitals as a senior manager in finance and heading the unit of finance functions. I am chartered accountant and I recently enrolled with ACCA. I want to ask, how will ACCA help me? Okay, this is also about going abroad. So I think we just discussed at length about going abroad and opportunities abroad. So I think that is pretty clear. Karthik has already really explained very well about that. But again, please look for opportunities in India as well, because after ACCA, doors do open to you in variety of roles. And there are roles like business analysts, data analysts, different kinds of roles now open for finance and accounting professionals, just because technology has really changed the way that finance and accounting works, the whole profession, the landscape. So, just look for jobs in India as well. There are so many variety of roles that are being posted by ACCA right now. And after your ACCA qualification, like Karthik said, especially in the big fours, you do receive a promotion. There's a huge chance of you receiving a promotion or not receiving a promotion if you're not a member. I've seen that as well. So I'm sure you will take it up, and I'm sure it'll work out fantastic for you. Abhay says that I'm an ACCA student at skill level and currently pursuing MBA in international finance, integrated with ACCA. Can I be eligible for professional level exams of ACCA? Okay, this is about 9 paper exemptions. So Prabhanshu, may I request you to answer this? Are you there, Prabhanshu, still?
Yes, Barsha, I'm there. Thank you for passing on the question. Sorry, I missed a part of this question. Can you please repeat it for me?
Okay, this is about, the student says that the person's at skill level, Abhay is at skill level and is currently pursuing MBA in international finance, which is integrated with ACCA. He's asking if he can be eligible for exemptions, because we do have partnerships where we do give 9 paper exemptions.
Okay. So thank you for the question, Abhay, and thanks, Barsha, for passing that on to me. So yes, we do have several universities where the MBA or probably the master's level program has been integrated with ACCA qualification. So if you're doing the qualification as a standalone, then basis on your previous qualification, you'll be given certain exemptions and then you can proceed further. So for example, if you have completed your BCom, then you will be given 4 paper exemption and you can start from the PM onwards papers. However, if your program has been integrated within the university space, then your university will be able to confirm you that how many number of conditional exemptions you are eligible for, and then basis on that further you can pursue your journey with ACCA.
Yeah, Abhay, you can probably write to us so that we can be more specific in our answers. We will need to know a little bit more before answering this question also, right, Prabhanshu? So
absolutely.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. So this one's for Satya. What are the best subject combinations to choose from the options in the professional level, Satya?
You have 4 options: advanced taxation, advanced performance management, advanced financial management, and advanced accounting and assurance. Yeah, AAA, ATX, ATM, and AFM. So I ended up taking AFM and ATX, financial management and taxation. the best way to go about that is, people think that, choosing these subjects have a lot to do with what you eventually do after that. That's not necessarily true, because I picked financial management and taxation, and today I'm in management consulting. So that has nothing to do with the two subjects that I ended up studying. But the best way for you to pick would be go to the ACCA website, go to the previous question paper section, go through the question papers, see what kind of questions they are asking, what subjects are they touching upon. And I'll tell you why this is important, because this helps you assess. End of the day, you have to write those question papers, right? So it's important for you to know what kind of questions they're asking, and accordingly, if it's something that probably interests you, if it's something that you like, enjoy reading about, enjoy studying about, then go for it. That's the best way to do it. And that's the most honest answer I can give you, because I remember when I was writing the professional level papers, I was an audit at that point of time, and an obvious choice would have been for me to take up audit. But frankly, I wasn't that interested in writing the audit paper, and I knew I was going to write the financial management paper. I was very sure about that. So I checked. I wanted to see what the advanced taxation was about, and I ended up having a look at those question papers, and I really liked the kind of questions they were asking. You have these really long questions where they give you a case study. They'll tell you, okay, so once a person has done this, 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 and this, and how would you assess their tax for the year, or they want to take a decision around this with regard to their inheritance taxation. So what would you suggest to them? So I somehow took interest in that, and that's exactly how I ended up choosing the subject. So that's my honest advice to you on that.
Thank you, Satya. Another one is for you specifically with name. So I'm currently working for a Big Four, which is Australia taxation currently. So do you think after ACCA, a transition to audit or advisory will be possible? Will ACCA be helpful in such a transition?
You have the ACCA careers portal, which has helped a lot of people. I was already with the Big Four, so it was easy for me to transition. And since you are with the Big Four as well, look out for openings within the various other functions which are there, audit and advisory, if that's your interest. And once you're done with your ACCA, you can definitely. I know within Big Four they encourage you to do this. If you're interested, you can always go have a word with your manager or your senior managers, whoever are there. Have a word with them, ask them how you can, make the transition. Of course, you should have opening on the other side. They mostly always do. So accordingly, you can move. That's exactly what I did when I finished my ACCA. I actually wanted to move into consulting. I had a word, and I had to go through the interview, which was challenging. Definitely, it's not like I was given a free pass or something. I wasn't. But I got through the interview, and I was able to move into consulting. So if you're already in a Big Four, the transition is easier. Even if you're not, you can still definitely apply. You're a freshly qualified ACCA, so you have ample opportunities after that.
Thanks, Satya. Okay, coming to you, Karthik. I have just started my ACCA journey. I want to know about how to do my preparations. What is the study pattern, which is completely new according to him. It is completely new, and he doesn't know how to go about studying. Only his main question is, only conceptual knowledge is enough, or some memorization is also necessary?
Yes, thanks for that question, Varsha. I would say, I'll take that question again in parts. There is no specific rule book or a guide that I can specify you that this is what you need to do, and these are the tips that you need to follow. Of course, everyone has their own way of studying. Someone can study for 12 hours at a stretch and make sure that they're done for the day. Someone can do 2 hours and then take 30-minute breaks and then clear those times, then study for a longer period of time. What I believe is, again, since there is no rule book for it, what you need to do is just try and test and see what has been working for you in the past and just start with it. Again, baby steps would help. You can't expect, Rome wasn't conquered in a day, so you can't expect that you'll be able to finish everything in a single go. Set yourself small, short-term goals, short-term objectives, and then make sure that you eventually, let's say you set yourself a goal for a week. Once that goal is achieved, you moved on to a goal for a month, and that is how you go ahead with it. Sorry, Barsha, could you repeat the last part, which was the main gist of the question?
Whether conceptual knowledge is enough, or you need to memorize some memorization is also necessary.
I would say instead, like if by memorization the person means that the student means that they have to cram something, I would say no, cramming wouldn't help. Of course, you would need to understand the concept. Just brushing through it wouldn't help. For your professional level exams and your skill level exams as well, what you need to make sure is that if you are aware about what the concept is and if you can apply it to any given situation, that would do the trick for you, be it a practical question, be it putting it into theoretical knowledge, or be it a multiple choice question as well. If you are aware about what that concept is, that is going to help you. Cramming, for me personally, I have not seen it work, because as soon as something changes or a question tends to become more behavioral or more into a case study format, what you have learned, if you're not able to apply it to that particular case study, you just lose the plot there. So I would say instead of cramming, set yourself short-term goals, short-term objectives, and then move towards your longer-term goal. And just understand the concept. Theoretical knowledge, yes, is important. Make sure that you are aware about what is going out in the financial world as well, because what you will do is, if you know what is going out there in the financial world in terms of the economy and mergers, acquisitions, how things are going, and what you have, let's say you're learning something about group accounting, you'll be able to relate those discussions or those topics that you've studied to the real world scenarios. And that is basically the best way to learn things.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm sure Siddhant, you'll take the tips. Here's another question. I'm going to be, I'll hurry up with the questions also. I can see there are quite a few now, and I'll kind of skip some of the questions which sound similar to me. So, this is about, Satya, to you. This is about growing my skills. How will I grow my skills? He's at a knowledge level right now, he or she. And, how do I get internship at skill level, Bba?
Internship at a skill level, apply online. There's growing your skills and then applying at your skills level. I think there are two parts to this question.
Yeah, that's right.
So, we live in a world where we literally have access to every digital resource possible. And applying to jobs, you can always do that at a skills level as well. Once you complete your 9 papers, I think you can apply to KPMG Global Services, Deloitte USI. You have all these guys who take in people. You can go to their websites, apply online. They do consider your resumes when you apply online. You'll have to meet the criteria, but they usually, to the best of what I understand, they do hire people in audit assurance, taxation primarily, and improving your skills. It depends on what you're doing and how it's relevant to you at this point of time. Again, instance from my own personal life, when I moved from audit into consulting was a different ballgame, in the sense that I had to be technologically sound as well now. So in audit, it was more of, knowledge around regulatory governance and trying to understand various standards and ensuring you're up to date with that, right? When I moved into consulting, I had to understand a lot of digital technologies, how AI works, how RPA works, because I did not have exposure to all this in audit. So for me, I had to take up, I went on LinkedIn Learning, or you have Coursera, you have various sources these days. So I had to go on one of those, and I had to kind of take training and courses and try and understand how all this works, right? So it depends on what you're doing. Where are you working right now? What is your, at least, near future plan? Like, what do you have in your mind? Accordingly, you should be able to find your resources online. I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Satya. There are lots of certificate programs from ACCA as well, whether be it data analytics, RPA, machine learning, AI. Yeah. So I would, if I were you, Satya, on the same line, but I think it is important for finance professionals, young finance professionals, to be very, very sound on technology. Again, technology is changing the way people work. I mean, what 2 or 3 years ago people were doing, bots are doing it now. So, it doesn't mean that it's going to take chances away from you, but that allows you to develop some new skills. So be sound on the technology, communication skills. Of course, Satya has already touched upon before, is very, very important. And if you're looking for internship opportunities, lots of jobs are posted by ACCA. Please keep checking ACCA Career Board and, apply. And I also hear that, when we apply, we don't get responses. you need to keep applying and, be self-motivated. You never know when it clicks. So just keep yourself out there, be seen by the employers, and I'm sure something will come across. The next question is, Karthik, to you, and this is an important question for you to answer, because I do see this a lot on LinkedIn as well, and sometimes I think it demoralizes some of the others who are doing ACCA. So so I just want to. This is from Ayush Jain. I just want to ask, can I be that successful by pursuing ACCA in India? Because here most of the people are pursuing CA, and very few people know about ACCA. Even the CAs don't know about ACCA. So, Karthik, what would you say to that? Because maybe you need to talk to the right CAs, Ayush, first of all. Who've been there and done that. But come on, Karthik, over to you.
No, of course, Barsha, I stand by you. I would not say that, Ayush, you're completely wrong. Maybe you're with a network. So again, I think you're with the network of people who have not heard about a certain course that's ACCA, which is fair enough. But let me tell you of what I've seen in the past 3 years, because I've been working with KPMG in their Gurgaon office between 2015 to 2016, and then 2018 to 2020. So starting 2015 itself, which is almost 6 years back in time, all 4 big fours, that is KPMG, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, and PwC across India were acknowledging ACCA. EY and KPMG were actually offering their employees opportunities to, pursue ACCA with the firm itself. And that is how I started as well. So of course, people out there are recognizing ACCA, and it's not just the big fours. There are many multinational organizations. JP Morgan's hiring ACCAs. They've opened up a new office in Hyderabad, which is their largest office across Asia. So there are multiple organizations. The scope again is growing. I believe it's not fair to compare ACCA and CA, because CA has been established for ages now back in India. Similarly, I would say, if you're talking about, now I'm in Australia and I talk about CPA Australia, which is a homegrown professional course, it is again not fair to compare these two courses, because ACCA is recognized across the globe in 177 countries, which is quite a remarkable feat. I'm sorry. So what we need to understand is that is a course which has come into the picture over a certain period of time, over the last 10-15 years. And the scope is growing by the day, and I've seen that myself. So if you believe you have not seen people who recognize or know about ACCA, LinkedIn is a way that you grow your network. Go ahead, look at the career portal site for ACCA, for the big fours, for many consulting firms. I believe Dabur's hiring, Bajaj's hiring. So all of these firms do take ACCAs as well. It's just that you have to look at the right places and talk to the right people. There are tons of opportunities out there, specifically in India as well.
Thank you, Karthik, for answering that. Okay, I think this is similar. Someone was looking to switch from one vertical to another, so I'm skipping that. I'm worried because, okay. Okay, so I will answer this question. I'm a knowledge level student. After joining ACCA now, I'm a little worried because of my poor verbal communication skills. Like Satya Didi, Satya, you become assistant, said that we need to build it well. I'm comfortable in typing and all, but not good at speaking. Is it a large hurdle? Bisman Preet Kaur. Okay, so Bisman Preet, I would urge you to look for some Toastmasters clubs nearby. I'm sure you'll find some Toastmasters club in Delhi. If you're based out of Delhi, they also have online sessions now. It is a difficult thing, and verbal communication is important, of course, because more than anything else, more than others judging you, you do get a lot of confidence if your communication skills are, if you are comfortable talking. And if you're not, I think it's all about practice. Look out for a Toastmasters club, join a Toastmasters club. It has helped so many people. It has helped me personally, and I'm sure it will help you as well. But you need to take that first step. So go take that first step, and I'm sure you'll start communicating as well as Satya in some time. But just give your first step, and Toastmasters is a great place to start with. So after that, shall we start practical experience after skill level or after professional level? You can start your, getting a job, or if filling a PER practical experience? I didn't understand. Maybe you're talking about working. Should you start, what would you say, Satya? After skills levels or after professional level?
Start at any time, as long as see, if it's after skills level, you have to be mentally prepared and strong enough to know that you'll have to work and study at the same time. So Karthik has done that. I have done that too, and it's a challenge. It's a bit of a challenge, but you can get through with it. I am not the smartest child around, so I know that for a fact that if I can do it, definitely you can do it as well. You just need some good amount of planning, as I've mentioned before. Just plan out your exams well, and but if you're like, no, you know what, let me get through with my professional level exams and then get into a job, that's also perfectly fine. That's actually in fact better, because that way you can take up like 2 exams at a shot, and you can probably finish it in 6 months if you do this right. So it's all about how it works out for you. So good luck with it.
Okay, another sorry, Satya, I'm just trying to hurry up now. In which all countries can ACCA do professional practice? So there are lots of countries where you can practice as a professional as an ACCA, but this is best to go on the website and check out. You'll see that on accglobal.com. Just type professional practice or practice certificate, and you'll get all the information there. There are too many countries for me to list right now. Hello. Okay. Hello, can you elaborate about the scope of ACCA in India, as there are other degrees like CA, which I think we've talked about this, which gives immense competition in the market. Immense competition is also between ACCA folks. So, there's competition. It is a competitive market out there, and it is more about how you stand as a professional. When an employer talks to you, do you look like a person who is willing to learn, whose communication skills are good, who is sound on your technical knowledge? And if they have posted for ACCA, I'm sure they'll be open. So don't be worried about all of those things. I would say just complete your qualification and look for the organization that you want to work with. How to choose optional subject at strategic level? How do we know the practical scope opportunities? I think Satya, you covered this already. So my question is to Satya ma'am. As she said, she cleared her exams in 2019. And I think, so there's PER of 36 months, so it should end in 2022. So how is she a member? She was already working before. You can start your PER. Who's this? I'm sorry, I can't see your name. It doesn't matter when, the experience that you're recording on PER, it doesn't matter when did you get that experience. If you had been working or working side by side with ACCA, you can always record your experience. You do not have to wait for you to complete your ACCA qualification to start your PER. PER, if you had done an internship 5 years ago, before you started your ACCA, that internship also counts if your employer is willing to sign it off on the PER portal. Whatever work experience you have, I know I've already taken a PER session with the GLD, but I'm repeating again, whatever experience you have, do not let it go to waste. If you have worked part-time, if you have done some teaching, if you have done some internship, make sure to just open your PER and start recording that experience. And Satya has gotten membership because she's been working before she completed her qualification. There are so many students who on the last day of their completion of after their exams results are out, they straight away become members because they have been working before. So and also for all the CAs out there, if you have done some articleship, that also counts for your PER. If your employers then are ready to sign it off for you on the experience dashboard. I have heard that Indians don't easily get work permit in UK. Is that true? I mean, I think this is not a question for Karthik and Satya really. It again depends on immigration laws, and if you're, or it's not even it doesn't even depend upon your employer. We'll probably have to, it's a different discussion altogether, but it's all about immigration. So the best way to go about it is learn more about it from your employer, and learn more after you get the job, while you apply, learn more about it. But again, please apply for jobs in India. Do not just look abroad. Does ACCA have same respect and opportunities as CA in India? I think you have two great members here, and working at great organizations. Respect is also earned. So I'm sure if you perform really well in your organization, they will not ask you which was your qualification. They will just admire you and respect you for the professional that you are. Should we do an MBA with ACCA? I think Satya has already answered this, so I'm just quickly flicking through now. This question is for VGLD. So Shilpi, those questions, I'm just skipping the questions that I can see for VGLD. Do ACCA students get jobs as a fresher in Big Four? We've already answered it. A lot of jobs, I think over 1,000 jobs have been posted recently. EY has posted more than 1,000 jobs for ACCA, and so many of them are for freshers. So please have a look in the career portal, please. Yes, Prabhanshu, you were saying something?
So Basha, I was referring to that in addition to this, that there is a job portal also for ACCA. We are also conducting a virtual career fair, which is scheduled on 28th of September, for which the communication has already rolled out. So please make the most of that. And if you're looking out for the career opportunities while you have completed or you are pursuing the ACCA qualification, that's just an addition from my side.
Okay, there are some questions which are about salaries, so I will not go to them. That salaries completely depend upon the organizations, and what level of jobs the job openings are there. So I will kind of skip these questions, please. Salaries are completely up to the organizations. If you go onto the career board, though, some organizations have published salaries, so maybe that will help. Is PER required for one who has already experience and claiming 9-paper exemption after completion of CA? PER is required for everyone. If without PER, you will not be able to get into ACCA membership, even if you have 15 or 20 years of experience. And so please. There are some affiliates who have 15 years of experience, and they have they are still working with me to complete their PER to get into membership. So it is required for everyone to become an ACCA member. Sorry, I think there's still so many hundreds of questions that I can see. Can any qualified CA or ACCA sign the PER? Yes, for PER to be signed, your supervisor needs to be a professional accountant from an IFSC body. So a member of the IFSC body, which is an Indian CA, which is from ICAI or ACCA, CFA, CIMA. All of these count. They should be willing to sign it off for you as a supervisor. Again, some questions about salaries. I'm just skipping, please. Again, questions about outside. For Karthik, I'm working as an AM in MNC and I left. Okay, Karthik, I'll ask this question to you. I'm working as an assistant manager with an MNC. I left CA while I was in CA final. I have completed my LLB as well. I am in my early 30s. Do you have any examples of people taking it up in the 30s? I would be glad to take it up.
I would say that age is not a bar, or it doesn't define that when you take up that course. It's basically, if you are in that headspace, firstly, you've got a great portfolio with LLB done, and that's fantastic that you want to pursue ACCA and get that done. I'm sure you'll be that it would be a cakewalk for you. So what you just need to do is, again, do not compare yourself with where other people are or where a 26-year-old professional are. Everyone has their own career trajectory. What you need to do is, and what you need to be sure about is that if that is something that you are after, don't think about your 30 or 35 or 40, whatever the age you are at. There's no good or no bad time to pursue something. If that is what you aspire, go for it and you'll definitely get it. Any organization doesn't, care about how old you are. What matters to them is if you fit the role that they are offering and the role that they are filling in. If you fit in that role, whatever the age, be it whatever gender, wherever you're coming from, that doesn't matter. It's the role and if you are a suitable fit for it.
I'm just looking, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm just looking for questions that are, remarkably different that can be addressed. Okay, so where is the career board Barsha just mentioned about? Please advise, Prabhanshu, Himani, can you please type in the career portals?
Sure, Barsha. I'll just type in.
And Himani, if you can also put in the address, Sneha, any questions about, there's some questions about OBU, etc. that can be addressed by Sneha. So you can please let her, the student's ID that Sneha uses, that would be great as well. I think,
Sure. I see a frequent question around signing balance sheets, as in like how an Indian CA does it. Can we answer this question? Because I get this often. So Karthik, do you want to answer this question or shall I take this up?
I'm happy for you to take it up, Satya. No issues. I'll jump in if needed. No issues.
Yeah. So okay, so this signing part of it comes into picture when you're in the audit practice, right? If you want to start your own practice in India, unfortunately, you can't do that. You have to be an Indian chartered accountant for it, which is the case with all countries across the world. You'll have to be their homegrown, either CPAs or chartered accountants. So you can't do that in India. Short answer, no, you can't. But you can still be in the audit practices, say in a Big Four or, mid-sized organizations as well. They do need people with expertise. It's not all about signing end of the day, because I think we live in a world today where signing is one part of it, but there's also a large part where you need to advise firms on, say, financial reporting standards or best audit practices. I currently, although I'm in consulting, I do have assignments that deal with helping companies set in good governance mechanisms and how they can implement best controls in place to address all their audit issues that are there, right? So if you're very passionate about the fact that I need to go sign a balance sheet, you can't do that by being an ACC. So sorry about that, but yeah.
All right, I think, okay, I left Genpact after 3 years. My supervisor was not a CA. How can I fill my PER for that? You first need to get your time approved by, I think we've done a detailed session on PER, Shilpi. Maybe we can post the recordings. There are lots of questions about PER, Shilpi, still. I can come around and do another session or take all the questions just regarding PER, maybe, if required. I did also see a question called, what is PER? So I think, we can just
having sessions and all. I think one more round just on PER is required. And definitely we're going to plan it very soon. And so information will be rolled out. I think we've got like lots and lots of queries, and every time, we are having these sessions, students are pouring in so many questions. So it's great that, we are organizing these sessions and students are actually getting the opportunity to ask whatsoever, with respect to the qualification and, hear it from people like Karthik and Satya, who have literally, done so well for themselves. And the qualification literally has, helped them give wings to their career, really. I think in the interest of time and, I think it's about time that we need to wind up the session. And I still think that there are many questions which are probably still unanswered. So please, I request everyone to please reach out to the team at VG Learning. The counselors here are well equipped to answer most of your queries. And for expert guidance, definitely we will be planning more such sessions in the future as well. So keep joining in, keep asking questions, and keep just progressing in your ACCA journey. And that's it, really. I would really like to, close the session by thanking everyone who has joined in, the students, Karthik, Satya, Barsha, Himani, Prabhanshu. Thank you so much for sparing out your valuable time. Must be close to around 12 p.m. for Karthik now. So I think it's about time, for us to wind up the session and let him have a good night and for us to have a good evening then. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Satya.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.